In the previous video, we saw how to activate the 3D world, then we saw how to rotate an element along the x-axis with rotate x function. So let's see how it behaves with different values. Let's see a negative value. Now our element is rotating in the opposite direction. And let's try 360 degrees. And now it completes one turn. Now let's move to rotate y. This function allows you to rotate an element along the y-axis, and it is better understood when you see it live. So let's remove this rotate x function from here and type in rotate y and add 30 degrees. And now this is the result. So if you replace y with the x, this is what it looks like to rotate an element along the x-axis. And this is what it looks like to rotate an element along the y-axis. So let's try another value here, a -1. Let's say, for example, -45 degrees. Now our element is rotating along the y-axis in the opposite direction. Now you can also rotate your element along the z-axis if you use rotate z. So let's see here, rotate z 20 degrees. Let's try another value. You can see that the rotate z function works just like the rotate function that we've been using in the 2D transforms section. Finally, there is a rotate 3D function that allows you to combine them together. So let's type in rotate 3D. The rotate 3D function accepts 4 separated values. The first 3 values set the direction of the rotate on the x, y, and z axis, and the fourth value sets the rotate angle. So here let's set the first 3 values to 0 and the fourth value to 30 degrees. And now when we hover over this element, well, nothing happens. That's because we need to set the direction of the rotation by changing these values from 0 to 1. And changing a value from 0 to 1 tells the browser that you want to rotate this specific element on this axis. For instance, if we set the first value to 1, our element is rotating along the x-axis. If we set it back to 0 and change the second one to 1, now our element is rotating along the y-axis. And the same thing for the z-axis. Now you can set 2 or all of them to 1, and now you can have your element rotating along the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis.